Wham! Talk 1600. You're catching the drift. Conservative talk. Intelligent conversations on local, state, and national issues with Gary Wellings, chief editor of the Current newspaper and Current Online. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. And now, your host, Gary Wellings.
And good Saturday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to Catch Our Drift. Joining me in studio, the impeccable Ipsy Ed Bonderenka.
Oh, I'm pecked.
You were in a rush to get in here today,
Yes.
weren't you? Yeah, well, what we do on the Drift every Saturday is go over the news that we put on thedailydrift.com. And if you're not going there, you should. It's
The news you need to know.
perfect. See? 2 weeks back and we're into it, just like that.
Doesn't take long.
Okay, well, let's take care of a little business. Holiday Toy Drive, the Starry Night Holiday Toy Drive by La Casa, which is a great nonprofit up in the Brighton area, Brighton and Howell area. You can get 50% off one item, excluding furniture, if you donate a new unwrapped toy and hang a star on our giving tree up there. So 50% discount offer is valid until December 23rd. You can go to La Casa, LACASA collection.org, or call 517-445-5050. 517-445-5050. That's the La Casa Starry Night Holiday Toy Drive. I know we got tons of toy drives going on, but the more the merrier, right?
For 1,600.
Wham's, yeah, Linda, and we just got done, I think.
It's still going on until 3 o'clock. The troopers
so you got a nice
contribution to Walmart's and
so give. It's a season of giving, so get out and give. You can give more
you
than
can give
one.
more than once.
That's right.
Be charitable.
They're only toys, man.
That's right. Make kids happy and do the La Casa thing.
Do the La Casa thing.
Yes.
Well, if you missed the Drift live here with Ed and I, you can always catch it on Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, and always archived at thedailydrift.com. Eventually. Yeah, I'm a little behind. I know. But you can get it at Spreaker, so there's no excuse.
Spreaker,
it's there.
there's no excuse.
It's on YouTube.
Yep.
We're the easiest people to find.
Facebook.
So. Yeah, well, we got tons of things to talk about, and let's kind of start with Conyers, right? This week decided that he's out. He's not going to.
You're out.
He's out of here, and I'm kind of happy that Rick Snyder said, you know, we're going to leave the seat open until the regular election. That's saving us money, right? And let's face it, John Conyers' votes were all crap votes anyways, right?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was worthless as they come, and I'm sorry for the people in Detroit that you aren't being taken care of, but you haven't been taken care of in 52 years or whatever it was that he served.
The Dems are a minority right now. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's silly. Franken?
Oh.
Did you see the apology?
What?
The so-called apology?
Is he out or is he not out?
I don't believe he's going to get out. I believe he couched his answer in such a way that he's going to wait for more to be elected.
Yep,
and then say, look at that guy. He's in. I get to stay in. Well, here's the difference, Mr. Franken.
Photographic evidence.
We got photographic evidence and a ton of evidence against you being a douchebag, whereas for Roy Moore, one lady came out and said she hadn't been attacked, and another lady admitted that she doctored the yearbook.
Yeah, I added that stuff. I mean, just took notes.
Yeah, you know.
And just remembered to say something about it weeks after the investigation started.
Yeah, so it's pretty. Now, Trent Franks, right, Republican out of Arizona, he resigns.
Yeah,
but he resigned immediately, so at least
he was
did.
pushed out by Paul Ryan. He was pushed out by Paul Ryan, yes.
Okay, but still inappropriate to be asking your staff to have your baby. And then one of the reports says that he was like, I want to do the job myself. I don't want to send you to the clinic.
A lot of reports and, you know.
You don't know. But either way, yes, he did the right thing. He got out like that, right? No ifs, ands, or buts. No lollygagging about it. I'm going to get out because it's the right thing to do. Well, good. I can't believe you.
I think he got out because he got threatened with ethics committee and harassment by Ryan.
When you offer somebody $5 million to have your baby, that sounds like a business transaction. If he did. I think the reports are pretty valid. But either way, the point is he didn't.
No screwing around.
No screwing around. I'm getting out. Yeah. Goodbye. I'm out. I was inappropriate. You can say he was inappropriate. Probably not the smartest thing to do with your staff. You want to go find someone to be a surrogate for you, go about it in a business way. Get a lawyer, find somebody, advertise, do whatever you got to do. You know what I mean? But asking your staff,
the
sketchy.
first reports Some reports, I can't even tell which first, some of them made it look like he was just asking them what they thought of it, not whether they should do it or not. So I'm not quite sure how much is doctored up or not.
I would think if that were the case, he probably
obviously he wasn't close enough to his staff to be talking to them about situations like that, or they wouldn't have.
Bingo.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's out. Another liberal in California, I think, is resigning as well. Debabene, Yabadabadoo, whatever his name is. Some dude out in California. I saw it just breaking on Twitter here a little while ago. But
dropping like flies, folks. Dropping like flies.
As they should. Come on, that's why I'm not running for office, right? Too many skeletons. Gary was too inappropriate and politically non-correct in the past.
But that was last week.
Yes. Yeah, I'm always inappropriate. That's just who I am, right? But the one that really struck me this week, and I had to put a couple tracks together, is Bank Fraud Bernie Sanders, the creepy old dude who screwed over all his supporters by backing Hillary Clinton and doing whatever he did to get along, who drives that $250,000 sports car, who has 3 mansions, who wanted the private plane for his support of Hillary, the complete douchebag that he is.
Yeah.
Let's start with track 1, Derek. You got that one ready? This is one of the liberal MSNBC garbage stations interviewing Bernie about Franken resigning. Or not. All right, try it again.
We don't have to. I could try to do a Sanders
I love it when a plan comes together, right? One of these days, I'm going to have to get that software that you got and do these tracks the right way, because I know I put a lot of pressure on Derek when I just hand him the... You ready? Okay, let's go.
They do, and Senator Franken says, listen, that last allegation was absolutely not true. He has admitted to some, but he said the last one was not true. But I've talked to both Democrats and Republicans who say this. Senator Franken may likely step down today. Senator Moore possibly may be joining the Senate, and he has been accused of far worse than what Senator Franken is accused of. What is your take on that? How do you square that?
Let me take it a little step further. We have a president of the United States who acknowledged on a tape, widely seen all over this country, that he assaulted women. So I would hope that maybe the president of the United States might pay attention to what's going on and also think about resigning. But if your point is that it's not just Al Franken, you're absolutely right.
All right, so Mr. Hypocrite Bernie Sanders, how about we go back 40-odd years to when you wrote your little thesis about women fantasizing about being gang raped, right? You're a dirtbag, Mr. Sanders. How about you resign? There's nothing more hypocritical than someone who's calling the kettle pot, calling the kettle black, right? It doesn't get any worse than what Bernie Sanders said about women.
Yep.
And Donald Trump never said he assaulted anybody. He was just doing the locker room talk, showing off whatever. You know what I mean? He wasn't admitting that he actually went and did that to anybody. So, Mr. Sanders, you're the one who wrote it down, talking about women and disparaging women. That's, same guy that honeymoons in Russia, right? Anyways.
Yeah. But I got an idea. Let's go behind the Iron Curtain. And it was behind the Iron Curtain.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely it was. And so, but let's take another step back for Mr. Sanders, because while he's down, I'm going to kick him too. Derek, you got track 2 ready? This is for you, Bank Fraud Bernie.
Senator Bernie Sanders refused multiple times to answer questions from Fox News Senate producer Kara Rowland about the FBI investigation that has reportedly come to focus on Sanders' wife, Jane.
Where are you from? Fox News. CBS is reporting on this. Politico is reporting on this. Do you still believe it's politically motivated, sir?
Well, I'm glad that you're interested in the fact that the Republican leadership is proposing legislation which would throw millions of people off of health insurance.
The case centers on Jane Sanders' tenure as president of Vermont's Burlington College from 2004 to 2011, and a loan application she filed in 2010 to help the school expand. Published reports allege Sanders claimed $2.6 million in pledges, but as the college spiraled into bankruptcy, Sanders reportedly raised less than $700,000, leading the Trump campaign chair in Vermont, Brady Tunsing, to ask federal prosecutors and banking regulators to investigate what he termed apparent federal bank fraud.
I have seen public records documents that show that an investigation has been started. Those records were with the Vermont Department of Education, where the U.S. prosecutors were asking the Department of Education to preserve records as part of their investigation.
Senator Sanders' campaign manager, Jeff Weaver, did not respond to Fox News' request for comment, but he told Politico the couple has hired Richard Cassidy, a well-regarded Vermont lawyer. And
well, so they lawyered up very quickly during the campaign over that. It was a little blast from the past for you, but I didn't have to reach back too far, right?
Nope.
Mr. Bank Fraud Bernie, if you haven't seen that hashtag, just stick it out there. Just when you do at Bernie Sanders, put Bank Fraud Bernie. Remind him that he's a complete hypocrite and a douchebag.
Speaking of bank fraud, you aware of what happened with the Consumer Finance Bureau? What the heck is that called? Consumer Finance.
CFPB?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
all the initials. Well, you heard about Mick Mulvaney,
is
Trump's
now,
guy, taking over from the Democrat that was leading it that sued. Well, I've been reading some stuff about that, and that's creation of Dodd-Frank. And there's some people who are saying this agency is probably more powerful than the FBI as far as its political sway. And there's some indication that Liz Warren, Pocahontas, not Pocahontas, Pocahontas, was actually directing money from that agency to the Democratic Party. So I'm looking forward. There's things going on in the background. But Mick Mulvaney, thank you, takes that agency over and starts cleaning around in there. Let's see what he comes up with. Yeah.
I'm sure the dirt is as thick as anything in the FBI
and then shut it down.
And the DOJ right now. I'm hoping beyond hope that for 2018 this stuff just comes out. Because let's put an end to the Democratic Party in 2018, folks. And I got to say this to you right now. If you believe in an American First agenda, whether you like Donald Trump or not, he's brash, he's bold, he's rude, he's socially unacceptable, whatever you want to call it.
Successful.
He's successful at pushing the America First agenda. And if you're not an American First agenda person, get out of the country. Get out. You don't belong here. You go live in some socialistic.
Move to Canada. It's not that
Move
far.
Move to Canada. It doesn't cost you anything. They'll be happy to have you. Well, maybe not because they like
They are stricter
diversity.
On immigration than we are.
Are they?
No, they very much are.
Well, all I can say is for all intents and purposes, 2018 election season is now in full swing. You see the Debbie Stabenow ads hitting the airwaves already. That needs to be countered, folks, and you can do that free of charge. Get your butt on Twitter and Facebook if you're not already, and start hitting up Debbie Stabenow for all the bad things she's done. She has supported Obama. She has supported Hillary Clinton. She has done nothing. She did not help with this tax.
No,
right?
She opposed the tax break.
She wants you to pay more taxes. She doesn't want you to take care of your own family and your own money. She wants you to give the money to her.
You'll
That's
starve
what she
her
wants.
poor, starving government. She has to feed her poor, starving government.
She needs to feed her own salary.
Yeah.
That giant salary of hers. Yeah, folks, you have to get out. Actively campaign in 2018. You cannot take this for granted. You really can't. And it starts right now because we have like 11 months, right? Give or take. 11 months to get this done. We have to push through and get, in this case, Bob Young Jr., or Bob Carr, or whoever, one of our we must replace Debbie with a Republican. It has to be a Republican. So, folks, please give money to Bob Young, Bob Carr, help them out, talk them up, do your homework on them. Don't take my word for it. Look at Bob Young and Bob Carr and make a choice, right?
And I'm trying to get Penciler on.
Who's this Penciler guy?
Oh, he's a big financier, but he's a Republican, and he's almost self-funding his campaign. He might be a Trump-like figure himself, but he might also be more liberal than Bob Young. We won't know until he comes on the air and talks to us. I'm working on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still at this point. My best bet is Bob Young. I like Bob Carr too, but I'm thinking at this point Bob Carr is the guy. We'll see if there's debates and there's plenty of time to do our homework. But until then, well, let's take a quick break, Derek. And when we come back, I don't know if he's even listening to me, Derek. All right, so we won't take
I'll go
a break.
over and knock on the window.
That's all right. We can keep. I've got all the information we need, right? So we can just keep plugging along.
If in lieu of a break, the thing with Mick Mulvaney finding out something about the CPFB or whatever the heck it is.
CPB?
Yeah, that one. I mean, now you got this thing with this Bernie Orr, and this guy was an FBI agent. Now he's been demoted. And it turns out it's because he was involved with the Fusion GPS.
Yeah.
And so now all of a sudden this guy is suddenly demoted, And you look back and I wonder, was this guy somebody who was muscling in to become a director or something of the FBI?
Oh, I'm sure.
And trying to tie his wagon to the Clintons,
Sure.
and now he's getting burned? Now,